Em the Hedgehog. Oh, I just swallowed spit. Ugh. Hope you're having a good crafternoon. I forgot to turn the volume off again. So, you know my weird setup. Here we are again. Same thing. No, that's not good anymore. Let's try the other way. Oh, come on. Nope, that's worse. That's worse. Alright, no more of that. So, how are you guys doing this afternoon? I'm doing alright, a little flustered, a little crooked. Don't know what's up with that. Alright, I think that's a little better. So today we're gonna keep working on the cake purse. I'll cake up. Are you gonna come say hi? Hi, Hiccup. Am I gonna get to pick you up? Or are you gonna be pointy? This is Hiccup. Say hi, Hiccup. Hi, Hiccup. I am amazed he's tolerating this at all right now. He is apparently feeling affectionate right now. Huh, baby? Yeah, yeah. He's blind. Mostly blind. He can see light and shadow. But he gets confused when things move, so poor little guy. I'm sorry. He just wants scratches now. You gonna come on camera? Come get your scratches on camera? Okay. Oh, I think you're still too low to see. Oh well. Sorry, Hiccups. I gotta work now. So I've got my windows open today because we are going to be working with barge glue. Because barge glue is amazing. Now, it's gonna get all fuzzy because cats like to sleep on my workspace. I've got my foam bits cut out. I think this is like 3/8 inch. It's not a 1/4 inch, but it's more substantial than the really thin stuff. It's like in between. In the past, I've used the 1/4 inch foam, but this time I felt that because I'm constructing the purse a bit differently, that this stuff might do the trick. Again, this is a prototype, sort of, prototype version 3, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully it all works and everything is amazing and spectacular. You can see this is where the zipper goes. And I've beveled all of my edges so that the corners go together a little bit smoother, and so that the area around the zipper won't be quite so chunky. I meant to grab some sandpaper, but I didn't, so screw that. Yep, screw that. Oh well. No big deal. So we're going to start with a lot of glue application. So what I did last time, or while I was gone, in addition to the foam, is I sewed these seams along the sides here, about 5/8 inch in. I just used the guide on the sewing machine. I think it's 5/8. And I'm going to glue the foam inside of those seams, and then fold this over, like so. And then I'm going to do the steering wheel stitch using that seam line that I put in on my own time. So hopefully it all goes as planned, and this is the new way of doing my purse. Because, like I've said before, I just didn't like the way the seams looked before. I felt like they looked very strained when I folded everything over and turned the purse inside out. And it was a pain in the ass getting the foam into the purse when the shell was already completely assembled. So we're going to do it a different way now. So keep your fingers crossed for me that this actually works, because I really want it to work. I really do. And please let me know if there's anything wonky with the sound. I can't test it. I'm in an entirely different room from the computer that is actually running the streaming software. So please Feel free to speak up if something's wrong. Oh, and I remembered to attach the handle this time. Unlike my last purse where I had to glue it on afterwards, this time we actually have the handle attached. So that's already an improvement. What I did is I stitched it on, so I've got the steering wheel stitch seam going over it, so I'll be able to do that still. And then I went over it twice more just to get it extra secure. Because nothing would make me sadder than to have this purse fall apart. Because the handle was taking too much stress. That would just be so sad. All right, so getting all my gluing surfaces up. There we go. I'm trying to make sure to keep everything where you can sort of see it this time. So beveled edge down. Not worrying about the messy edges because they're not going to show. Or at least trying not to worry about the messy edges. I am sorry that I was a little bit late getting started. I couldn't tear myself away from Downton Abbey. I was getting caught up because I missed episodes 7 and 8. I watch on the PBS channel on my Roku. And I had missed it, and I wanted to make sure I got caught up before 7 got replaced. Because then when I watch it, you know? And everything has to get happier from this point on. I'm about halfway through episode 8. And it cannot end on this note. It just can't. Alright, so I'm keeping track of the time. It's about 1:15. Today is going to be a lot of gluing. So as you can see, I've got all of these pieces to apply the glue to. And then once the foam is applied, I have to fold all the edges over and glue those as well. It does seem as though the vinyl is somewhat soaking up the glue, but we'll be okay. We are going to need more glue before our next big project, though. Ooh. We got this vat of glue when we started the Absolute Zero armor, and I would say it's already over halfway done. It goes fast. And I'm not worrying about getting it over the edges. Like I said, we are going to be gluing the edges down as well later on. So, no big deal. Why is my phone buzzing? I got a text, and I cannot read it, so I'll deal with it later. Because again, that camera right there is my phone. I promise we will get a wireless card set up in here so that I can have an actual camera and an actual microphone. But for now, my phone is what I've got to work with. So I'm sorry, and thank you for bearing with me. I still have not cleaned off my little workspace from when we did Mozu. So it's still covered in wood filler powder. Which I need to fix that before next time, or at least before I need it again. I'd say one of my biggest failings as a cosplayer is cleaning up. I am no good at cleaning up. I mean, I still got a trash bag full of foam bits from Absolute Zero, and that was from like the 2nd week of January. Yeah, it's just sitting in my living room. Just sitting there. If you can, I encourage you to try to be on top of it and clean things up regularly, because you will be happier in the end if you don't have to wait to start a new project until you clean up after the old one and like there's glue dried all over your surface, or maybe your cat knocks over something and now there's sanding powder everywhere. It's just not fun. And I do wish I could learn from my own experiences and actually start cleaning up, but I haven't found that willpower yet. I'm only human, and a very lazy human at that. There we go. So what else has been going on? I have been having so much fun playing Fire Emblem Birthright. So much fun. Although I was getting really annoyed at how slow it was progressing my relationships. So I started buying encounters so that I could just pair people up and get them up to the next levels. Oh, I was really disappointed because I got best friend or childhood friend, I think his name is Silas, and Azura together, and got them up to level C, and it was all just him being a dick. That's disappointing. I wanted him to be nice to her. She doesn't deserve this treatment. So now I have to find someone worthy of Azura before, yeah, I just need to find someone better for her. I think I might pair up best friend with Big Sister, who I can't remember her name right now, because they seem to enjoy talking tactics. So I'm like, okay, you guys might go well together. But you are a dick to Azura, and I like Azura, so no, you don't get her. All I know about Big Sister is that she's spunky and good at fighting. Alright. So the foam is curving a bit right now. I don't care too much. It's just being a pain with me trying to get to the edges. But it'll flatten out when I get it applied. I hope. It should work. We're committed. Let's just keep going. I have to make sure that I get all the edges nice and gluey. So that I have an even seal, so that the outside of the purse looks all uniform and smooth. Now, I have never taken a class in making purses. I am sure there is a better way to do this. But if there is, I do not know it. So I'm making do. I got a bit of a cat claw on my glue. Let's put that over there. Yet one more hazard of this being a cat room. Another hazard being that I can't work in here for more than a few hours at a time because I'm allergic to my cats. And then there's fur everywhere. Oh, kitties. You shed so much. You shed so much, kitties. It doesn't help that one of the cats looks like a cloud because she is so friggin' fluffy. All that fur has to go somewhere. And that somewhere is the most inconvenient place it could possibly go, no matter what that is. Of course, downstairs I've got dog fur everywhere, so I really can't win. And I'm probably allergic to the dogs, too. Just less allergic than I am to the cats. Yes. If you've got something you're working on, I would love to know. Tell me, tell me. Yeah. All right. It tried to stick to me. One benefit of having long nails. I can kind of pry things off of them when I get all gluey. All right. Yes, I would love to hear what you're working on, if anything, even if it's just that you're at work and you're working on work. Damn it. I just stuck my finger in the glue. And you know what else I forgot to grab? Oops. I forgot to grab the paper towels. So, yay glue. There we go. I got more glue on me. So I will be back again tonight at 5:30 for the Hedgehog Hangout. If you would like to play Gigantic with me, I would love it if you would join me. If you don't have a key, I know that there's a ton of streamers on right now who do have keys to give away. I know Shark Juggler specifically often will just give away keys between matches. And it's super fun. Last time Blue Battlehawk joined me, and yeah, I had a great time. I hope that he did too. I think he did too. So yeah, and I am moving the Friday Night Hedgehog Hangout up to 5:30. So I'm not going to be starting at 7 anymore. From now on, it's going to be 5:30, so that I can either play longer or eat earlier. So I'm not eating at like 10 o'clock. I need to make an effort to eat at a normal time, like a normal person. Because dinner is not really meant to be eaten at 11 o'clock if you're then going to sleep at midnight. Which is what I've been doing. Go. More glue, so exciting. So chances are, by the time I get to the end of this, I'll just be ready to apply the first round. The thing with contact cements is you do need to let them dry a bit before you can glue your stuff together. And you do need to apply it to both halves of what you're trying to glue. So it can take a little bit longer to do, but I really recommend the barge cement, especially for armor, if you're working on foam armor, or attaching boot covers to shoes, because this stuff was actually meant to attach the sole of your shoe to your shoe. That's what it's meant for. So it's super strong. And it's not going to glue to anything else. Once this dries, if I touch it, it's not going to stick to me unless I've got glue on my finger, because it glues to more glue. So that's a bonus. And also, if you're working in foam, you can reheat it afterwards. If you try to reheat hot glue, it's just going to melt and everything's going to go bad. Trust me, I've done it. But if you reheat the barge cement, you're just reheating it. Nothing's going to move. The barge cement is not going to lose contact with itself because you heated it up. Now, that doesn't mean that you should be using barge cement to connect Velcros to your project. I would definitely go with super glue for your connections. When we worked on Kador and when we did our Infinity Blade armor, we used, well, I think for Infinity Blade, we might have just used super glue because that's what we had. But for Kador, we tried the barge cement for all our Velcro bits, and we found that because armor, when it's full body armor, it's basically putting yourself in a sweatbox. As the day went on, because the inside of the armor was getting so humid and so hot, the barge cement did actually detach from the back of the Velcro. So super glue all your connections, all your connecty bits, such as straps or Velcro or snaps, whatever it is you're using, so that because those are experiencing strain, you really want those secure. But barge cement is great for attaching foam to foam or cloth to anything, foam to cloth. It's great for that kind of a thing where it's not experiencing actually pulling strain and you're not basically steaming it. Oh, hi, Astrid. But Giant Thump was Astrid because she's enormous and overweight. Astrid, I see you've got food over there. Don't try to fool me. She would eat the whole box of food if I let her. I swear she would. Astrid, come here. You want to come say hi? You want to come say hi? Or maybe I should wait till there's no open glue. Yeah, maybe I should do that. If you have small animals or birds, I do not recommend heating foam or using glue like this, glue that smells like this, anywhere around your small animals or birds because they are so sensitive to toxins and to chemicals in the air. Birds especially. I know for a fact that you're not even supposed to have a bird anywhere near a kitchen where you're using non-stick pans. So anything even remotely chemical could harm your bird. So make sure that you're always using these kinds of glues in a well-ventilated space. Like I said, I do have all the windows in the room open. And I've got more than just this one window. And away from your sensitive little itty-bitty pets. Also, you probably should be using some sort of a breather for this. But I'm not, and I'm accepting those consequences, whatever they may be. If you are pregnant, I highly recommend using every personal protective equipment available to you, because you don't want to take those risks. All right, I think that's enough safety information there. All right, we got both triangle pieces just about ready. I missed a little smidge over here. All right, those are ready. Time to move on. But yes, ideally I would be doing this out in the garage where there's no cat hair. But like I said, I'm bad at cleaning up, and all of my workspaces in the garage are currently covered in trash. There we go. This one I'm really hoping works. I'm not certain how the zipper is going to lay because I've got so many layers here. It's a little bit thick. So we'll see. We'll see. This is just a prototype. This is for my personal use only. So whatever I do make for anyone else, I will make any corrections too. I'm making sure not to get any glue in the zipper because that would suck. Oh, you guys, as soon as this stream is done, I am going to go and finish episode 8 of Downton Abbey. And nothing can stop me. Something I figured was going to happen did happen. But luckily wasn't as bad as it could have been. But everything did kind of hit the fan in the last 2 episodes, so I want to know how they're going to make things happy again. Because they have to make things happy. It's the last season. They can't just leave you with them like, oh, everyone's miserable. They can't just do that. It's not Game of Thrones. Which I am also eagerly awaiting. But I do like that they are giving it an end and they're not just dragging it on forever, like a lot of American TV shows end up doing. But I'm the kind of person who likes closure. At the end of a story or a movie, I'm the kind of person who wants the epilogue to see who ended up happily ever after, who went and had babies, who achieved amazing things. I want to know those things. So I like it when there's an ending. I put a lot of glue on that one. Go. Wait. I should be putting on this one next. I'm trying to do this in pairs so that I will have everything ready as I go. So that I'm not waiting on like one half of these to dry because I did all of the outer layer first and then all of the foam second. So I'm just trying to time things conveniently. And it's about 1:30 right now, so this should be ready at around 1:45. So in Gigantic, I know the heroes have rotated. So now we've got Charnock and Tyto. And I can't remember who else. But I know we've got those two. I did end up buying Sven because he's amazing. And now I have less competition for Sven. So that's awesome. And I am currently working up to buy Mozu because I did get to try her on Wednesday, I think it was. And she was so much fun! I tried playing Trip, and I just don't feel like I'm meant to play Trip. It just doesn't work for me. Not as bad as Griselma. When I tried Griselma, that was a disaster. And I'm never playing Griselma ever again if I can help it. But Mozu, like Sven, kind of made sense to me. I got her more quickly, even without actually planning out my build ahead of time. Which seems to be how I like to just dive in. But that's me all over. I am not a planner. I try to plan, and at some point I just say, fuck it, we'll wing it, and somehow things get done. Maybe not to the best of my abilities, but they get done. And that's how I approach too many things. Ah! Get off! Let's move that over here. Okay, now this one. Whew, we're nearly done gluing. Oh my god. Okay, by nearly I mean we're like halfway done. 3/5 of the way done. We're more than halfway done. Because we got all the big pieces out of the way pretty much. So I am really hoping that this whole steering wheel stitch thing works out for me. I am putting a lot of faith in something that I have never tried. But I feel like it should work. I feel like it should. Hello there, Mr. Party Knight. How are you doing? Are you having a good crafternoon? I am currently working on my cake purse. which I first made as part of my GLaDOS costume several years ago, and now I'm trying to make it better with lots of glue. If you are working on something, I would love to hear about it. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I am missing. Oh, I nearly missed the seams. I put the glue too far in. Oops. Oops. Let's fix that now. The problem with having a detail seam and a sewing seam is that I nearly did not put the glue to the correct line, which would have been sad for me in about 15 minutes, because this would not have glued properly. I am very happy that I caught that. Sorry about the scratching sound. Cat boxes are right over there. And Astrid has wonderful timing because she's a cat. Hi, you giant fluff ball. Yeah, you're such a cat. Man, you're all the way in Finland? Geez, that's a long way away. But yeah, it's just about midnight over there. It is a bit late to be working on something. I know I tend to quit around 11. No good working on something if you're tired. But I'm glad that you stopped by and said hi, even though it's so late. I'm just gluing, lots of glue. And I just realized I am completely out of frame. So let's move a couple things here. There we go. That should be a bit more in view, even though all I'm doing is brushing glue on. But yes, eventually I'll get a real camera in here, and then you'll be able to see a bit more, because I have to crop things weird for Skype. There we go. I am ready to be done with glue because this stuff smells like death. I would say that's the biggest downside of the barge cement. It smells like death. By the way, if you do want to get some of this and try it out on your own, we got our barge cement on Amazon because we were not able to find it at a local hardware store. You can always try, don't do that. Don't do that. No. No. There we go. I started curling. It's a weekend, so no problemo. I've tried today to do some video editing, but my inspiration and motivation level is 0 right now. So you didn't do anything. I have been there. Oh, I am lazy, so I hit that point a lot. Sometimes you have to push through it, but sometimes you also just have to give yourself a break. If it's not crunch time, I always give myself a break. But I'm sorry that you had no motivation today. I hope that tomorrow is more inspiring. Astrid, you're really sitting on my stuff. Yeah, you are, honey. You're such a cat. You're such a cat. But yeah, no motivation days are super hard. Lots of glue. So glue nearly missed this seam, just like I knew it did on the other one. There we go. More glue. Put that there. And we'll do this one because it goes with that one. Make sure there's no cat fur on it because cat fur gets everywhere. And so does dog fur. Typically, I would recommend vacuuming before you do much on the ground when you have pets. When I get to the point where I am pinning fabric and cutting stuff out, I do vacuum because I lay everything out on the carpet so I can glue everywhere, stab the pins in. Go. Yeah, so I can stab the pins into the carpet, and so I have to vacuum. Otherwise, my fabric is covered in fur. Another reason why it's handy to keep a lint roller or packing tape around so you can get fur off of stuff. But yeah, always check your stuff before you glue, before you paint. Do your absolute best to get fur and any other fibers off of your project because that fur or that hair will show through. All right, you're a perfectionist, so that kind of thing happens a lot. But yeah, I'm in California, so the United States, where it is unseasonably warm. It's only the end of February, so I was hoping that winter would last a bit longer, but no. Allergy season started early, along with spring. Does it get very cold in Finland? I am ready to be done gluing. After this, I've got 2 more pieces. There we go. All right. Not enough glue up here. You want to apply a fairly hefty layer of glue, not so much that it clumps, like you don't want chunks, but you don't want it to look dry as soon as you apply the glue. You need enough that it'll actually stick. If you apply too little, it's not going to stick. Although what you can do is for high stress pieces, you can apply multiple layers of the glue. I know we've done that before where, for example, you wait 15 to 20 minutes and then go in and just put more glue on. And then when that dries, you put everything together. Very, very cold. Sometimes -30. That is super cold. But now it's not so cold. I'm glad it's not so cold now. -30 sounds absolutely miserable. I don't know how you do that. I don't think I could. But then again, I've been in California my whole life, and not in the part that gets seasons. Maybe if I grew up where it snows, I'd be like, that's nothing. But no, I've never lived with snow, so -30, just, I can't even get my mind around that. Go. getting that glue applied. We are nearly done, and I get to put this away. And hopefully the room will air out fairly quickly. But yeah, I have used this glue to attach boot covers to my shoes before, and it worked really well. If you don't mind losing a pair of shoes to a cosplay, and you don't want to deal with elastics, and you're worried about a glue that will flex, this is the glue for you. Or probably any kind of rubber cement. We are superhumans or cavemans, and I don't know. Can I ask how old are you? I guess 25. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I like your guess. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. I find your guess very flattering. Almost done. All right, second to last piece is done. Put that there. One cat fur right over here. Oh, great white fluffy cat. I had, that's a lot of smiley faces. I have the dubious blessing of having a cat with fur like cobwebs. So it is very insidious and sneaky and sticks to everything far better than Hiccup's fur is. Hiccup has normal cat fur. It's got more density to it. I don't know, it's thicker. But Astrid's fur is like spider webs. It's annoying fur. Very soft. She's very fluffy. But that fur does not stay on her body very well, which is amazing considering she looks like a cloud. You would think with all the fur we find everywhere, she would be bald. No, I picked up a fur. This time it's a Hiccup fur. I know because it's black. There we go. All glued! Success! Ah! Off, get off, get off! There we go. There we go. All right. Sealing up that glue for now. I am going to need this soon. It has definitely been enough time. I have been cosplaying for 10 years, and we just started getting into foam armor, I would say 2.5 years ago. We have done 3 full sets of armor, no, 4 full sets of armor now, and foam is a lot of fun. No, your English is fine. I can understand you just fine. I started off not knowing how to use a sewing machine, and now I can typically make my own patterns pretty reliably. I still need to work on the wigs. I've done one really crazy wig, and I never want to do another crazy wig ever again. But yeah, 10 years of cosplay with typically one set of big costumes every year. I'm not one of those cosplayers who goes to a ton of conventions because this was just like, hey, we go to a game convention every year. Let's start dressing up. That kind of a thing. Although it started with anime. So, but yeah, 10 years of cosplay. It's a lot of cosplay as far as I'm concerned. A lot more than I realized until I had to actually think about it recently. All right, let's get going. See how it did not stick to the ruler, even though the ruler was holding the stuff down? That is one of the amazing things about barge cement. Now, let's pick this up. There's hair in my glue. Let's see if you can see it. There's hair in my glue. I don't think you could, but it's there. Trust me. Okay. So one of the awesome things about barge cement is as long as you don't wait too long, because the glue is workable for 24 hours, typically after about 15 to 20 minutes, you're good to go. The longer you wait, the less forgiving the glue is, so you can't reposition it. But if you wait less than 15 minutes, it's not going to stick. But I should be able to reposition this glue fairly easily while I get this into position. I am attempting to do this where you can see. I don't know if I'm succeeding. Maybe I should have started with a simpler piece. All right. Ta-da! So I wouldn't say that I placed that perfectly. My goal was to get this entirely inside the stitching lines, and I didn't quite manage that as well as I would like. But like I did say, the glue is forgiving and the foam is smushable. So I can correct that to some extent. Just work up these edges and bring those in. Because I want to be able to fold the vinyl on that seam. I can understand what you're saying, but speaking or writing is hard. In schools, we don't have so many English classes. Yep, this is one way that you can learn English. And like I said, your English does sound perfectly fine to me. So I would say you have very good schools. I know that American schools attempt to force you to learn a language. I took Spanish, but I don't know if it speaks to the school or to my inability to learn languages that I do not speak Spanish, even though I took 4 years of Spanish. Yeah, nothing stuck. I did not learn another language. Hi there, Ghost Eye! How are you doing this afternoon? I'm gluing foam to vinyl. Yeah, I think that'll look pretty good. I've got a nice smooth edge right there. I think that once I get these edges pulled around, it'll help keep everything straighter. You're pretty sure our school system is just terrible. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. You would think that 4 years of learning a language would actually teach you that language, right? But no. What language did you take in high school, Ghost Eye? I know a lot of people who learned Japanese because they were into anime. But I learned Spanish because 3 of my 4 grandparents spoke Spanish. Or at least I attempted to learn Spanish. I still regret that it didn't stick. Oh, you did German? So you had to choose between German and Spanish. I am married. I have been married for 5.5 years now. So better than a boyfriend. Yes, my wonderful husband does cosplay with me. He was my Kador to my Ashling when we cosplayed from Gigantic last year. And he does a lot of the more technical stuff. I'll do a lot of the patterning and I'll do all the sewing. But since we started working in foam, I have left a lot more of the actual construction up to him because he can't sew, but he can glue. So if I can leave that to him, then I am more than happy to. You have been learning, how is the Rosetta Stone software? Because I've seen it and I know it's expensive, but I've never tried it and I don't know anyone who's actually stuck with it long enough. I know people who bought it, but like they've never started it, is what I mean. So are you finding that helpful for learning Japanese, or is it boring, or what? Oh, you do like it? But yeah, it is expensive. I know there's often sales. Amazon will have sales for their Black Friday. But oh yeah, that's a pricey software. All right. Looks like I got maybe a bit of an air bubble in there. Another cool thing about foam is that it is porous, so you can force air bubbles out. Puppies, no barking. Congrats, I tried to find that perfect, but it's kind of hard if you are creative. People don't understand you so well and think you are crazy. You have to find someone whose crazy matches your crazy. That's what I decided to do, and it worked out pretty well. It's super helpful, but I do have to supplement with wikis and stuff when it gets confusing. Got it. Japanese is kind of hard to learn, though, isn't it? Because they have all the different styles of writing. I imagine that probably something like Spanish would be a bit easier to learn. It tries to teach you by throwing you in the deep end and making you swim. I hear that does work for people. I have not been brave enough to try that myself. And three main alphabets. But yeah, Mr. Party Night, find someone whose crazy matches your crazy, and you will be a happy person. I know too many people who compromised on what they like to make their partner happy, and they just don't look happy to me. So don't compromise on the important stuff like your hobbies and what you like to do, the people you hang out with. France is an art country and you have a cousin who lives there. Good reason to learn French. You can go visit your cousin, see if it works for you. Kanji is the hard one. Oh, that's the more complicated one, isn't it? Is it the katakana? Is that the simple one? Or it's more kind of like the pronunciation? And the kanji is the more more complex, where one character can mean a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, French is a beautiful language. Hi there, Amanda for Paul. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good crafternoon. I am working on my cake purse and gluing foam to vinyl to help give it its structure. If you're working on something, I'd love to hear about it. Okay, so I did get it right. And then they have the Romanji. Is that the English alphabet, or is there a different one too? I'm really interested in Japanese because I watch so much anime, but I don't know a lot about it. All right, ta-da! Got another fairly smooth finish right there. Now let's see. Nope, this one's still drying. So I would say this one's ready, and then we may need to wait a few more minutes for the last two pieces. In which case we can start gluing this again to get the stuff to fold over. Let's see. No, giant hair. It was another Astrid hair, in case you were wondering. So I'm matching up all the corners first and then just kind of smoothing it down because I don't want to find out that I didn't cut the foam long enough or that I cut it too long and then have to pull everything up so I can reseat it. Go. Oh, this one stuck down too much. There we go. There, you see I was able to just rip that up? That's why I love the rubber cement. Oh, come on. There we go. My circus fell asleep. Sorry. Romanji is just Japanese spelled in the Roman alphabet. Yep, not acceptable to use in Japan. I guess that makes sense because it's not their alphabet. It's for us. There we go. And then remember, this piece was kind of lumpy. So I'm just going around and making sure to smash the foam down over all the overlapping pieces so that it sticks completely. Because, oh, all right, I'm gonna have to rethink that a little bit. So what I'm likely going to have to do in the future, because I don't know if you can see it, but like you can see the lumps through, is it expensive living in California? And may I ask what you think about Donald Trump? In Finland, they talk very much about how crazy and something person Donald Trump is. Yeah, Donald Trump is a joke, and he better not get elected president. That's my opinion on Trump. And it is very expensive living in California. Here's where I was born. Here's not necessarily where I will stay, but I haven't known a cheaper way of living. All right. So yeah, likely what I'll have to do in the future is I'll make sure that the overlapping bits right here extend so that I don't get these lumps, so that I have a much smoother surface around the zipper. And this is why we do a prototype, so that we know kind of what the problems are. But ooh, this glue stick's good. This glue stick's so good. But you can kind of see back here, maybe, how the foam is lumping up just because foam is stretchy. And it's kind of covering all of those uneven pieces. That opinion is the general consensus among people I know. Yeah, Donald Trump is insane. And I don't know why he's getting so much attention. Other than that, he's like a giant joke. And everyone's still laughing. Do I have other hobbies? Mostly I craft. I watch a lot of anime. I play a lot of games. I sew, I crochet, I make foam stuff, and I'm learning how to use an airbrush. So I do a lot of stuff when I'm not too lazy to do it. Pretty sure Trump is just there to make sure the other guy gets selected. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that's the case, because, oh, he's awful. All right. And as you can see, I've got the zipper hole. So that's one reason why I'm using foam instead of plastic, so that I can actually manipulate this area and it's not going to crack or anything like that, because foam is super forgiving and super stretchy. All right. Has it been enough time? I'm going to leave that for a few more minutes. Okay. So now's the hard part, because I have to overlap stuff and I have a point up here. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this. So my first move, I think, is going to be to cut the corners in. I'm not cutting them all the way, because I don't want the foam to show through the corners. But you can see this way, I'll be able to kind of fold that over. But I still will need to cut away some of the bulk here. But one thing I'll need to consider in the future is putting just a little dot of super glue back here so that I can cut these threads without worrying about them coming loose. So, I have cut around my seam. That's why I've got this little nubbin up here. So that I can glue this down. And then when I fold this over, I can cut this away and I'm not going to have extra bulk on the corner right there. All right. So I'm drawing these lines in because I don't want to over apply my glue. Not because it's going to stick to anything, but because I don't want to waste it. Okay, now the hard part. Yeah. Let's see. big problem with hobbies. If I start a new hobby, for example, soccer, I buy stuff and a jersey and play for 2 weeks and then rage if I don't learn simple things quickly and then quit and start a new one. That is a problem. I know I've done that as well. You just got to show some self-restraint and hold back on buying everything or just suck it up and keep going. I don't know what to say about that. I know I've had the same problem and I haven't really found the solution to that. Seven, why are you barking? Seven is very unhappy right now. Hello there, Scotty C3. Hope you're having a good crafternoon. I know I am. I am working on putting together my cake purse and trying to figure out how to fold all this in without creating a ton of bulk. What are you working on? I would love to know. I think I may just end up with bulk here. I do need to cut this. Alright. So that way that lays nicely right there. I can just fold this little nubbin in. And then I'll do the same thing for the other side. So the point is going to end up being a little bit bulky, but I'm just not sure there's much I can do about that at this point. I'm from the UK, so nothing, just got in from the pub. Well, thank you for dropping in and saying hi. I do appreciate it. So we've got the UK and we've got Finland in the chat today. That is pretty awesome. We've gone all international, you guys. All right. Let's see if you can see kind of what I've done there. We'll just cut that down so it lays smoother. And now to do the same thing over here. But yeah, I can definitely see this being faster in the end. I know it's a little bit slow right now. But I could see this being faster in the end than trying to shove the foam in the way I have been doing in the past. There we go. So what I'll probably do is I'll fold these in, glue those down, so that way the point is covered and you're not going to see any foam through there because it's orange. And then glue over that. I'm not sure. I don't know yet, you guys. I don't know yet. Or glue those down and then bring it in. We'll figure it out. And then we've got another cut needs to go about right there. And then there. There. All right. That out. Anytime you need to fold something or turn something inside out, it's a really good idea whenever possible to clip the excess away so that you don't get any unsightly bulk. Because you don't want lumpy corners, you don't want lumpy seams. It'll help everything lay a lot nicer if you take this time When you're sewing too, this is an important step, especially for anything very curved. Sometimes I think I'm not Finn because I talk so much. Finns are so shy and angry people, my friends say. I am weirdo from USA or something. Yep, I have cousins from the US. I don't know. I feel like everyone's different. It's not like you're not from Finland. You're just loud. Nothing wrong with being talkative. And trust me, as a shy person, because I am shy, I promise, it's helpful to have someone in the room who's ready to just start talking. So that you're not just all standing there going, well, I don't want to be the first person to talk. Nothing wrong with being loud. It's a gift in its own right. Everything smells like glue. All right. Put that there. Time to glue these. So chances are I'm going to have the same problem I had on the zipper here because I've got a thick overlap right there and it's going to show through. So when I do this in the future, I'm going to make sure that I have this layer continuing that way to create, so that it's smoother on the outside. There we go. By the way, if you're ever working on prototypes for stuff like leather, apparently the thinner foams are a great substitute for leather. So if you need to make your mock-ups and you don't want to use your expensive stuff, you can use foam. Scotty C3, I am making a cake purse. Basically, it's a slice of cake. You can see the side there, like it's got the cake and the frosting in the middle. I made this the first time and the second time for my like GLaDOS cosplay. And I'm currently kind of redoing it, trying to figure out how to make it better and faster so that I can sell them. Because I do have one commission request for them currently. And I always get people asking me where I got it when I take it out with me. What I've done in the past is I've used a thicker foam and put the whole shell of the purse together, turned it inside out, and then wedged the foam in there and glued it in that way by like wedging it through the zipper, and that has been a huge pain in the ass. And also the seams always end up looking a bit strained from being flipped inside out. So I'm trying a different method of construction this time, and we're nearly getting to the point where I will see if it works. So far, I think I'm pretty happy with how the foam is handling everything. I won't know for sure until the whole thing is done and I put stuff in it. But so far, it's doing pretty good. But if I need to, I can always go back to the thicker foam. It's not that big of a deal. But the thought was that because I'm constructing it a bit differently this time, I don't need to have pieces to wedge in to hold its shape. All right. Got everything lined up again. You can see I've got my 5/8 inch all the way around so that I can fold everything in. I don't know how long this will take me because I'm pretty much just working on it on stream, so like 4 hours at a time, or 4 hours a week. I'm hoping that eventually it'll only take me 3 days to make a purse. But I haven't used this method before, so I can't really say how long it's going to take me this time around. But I hope it's easier. I hope it's faster. So far, I would say easier. Because the hard part has always been trying to get the sewing machine to work around this top corner right here. It just never liked it, and then trying to flip that inside out was always a huge pain in the ass. So I still have high hopes for what I'm trying here. Oops, flipped it upside down. But I have that one problem. I don't know how to say it, but I try to explain. If my friend says something bad about me, like you are stupid, then I watch my friend like you okay? And after that conversation, I think, really, did he mean it? OMG, OMG, really. I don't know better how to explain, but I hope you understand. I know it can be hard to kind of articulate yourself. I know that I tend to get nervous and I can stutter or mess up my words. I have found that for me, the best thing to do in those situations is to just take your time and make sure that you are heard. No, I cut this piece wrong. Damn it. Did I cut this too short? I totally cut this piece too short. No. God damn it. If someone says something bad about you and they're saying it all the time, then you don't need them in your life. You can find a new friend. You should not have friends who are putting you down and making you feel bad. You could always have a conversation with that friend in private and just let them know how you feel. But it's no good to let yourself be constantly belittled and to not allow yourself to be heard. Because your voice is important too, and you deserve to not be put down, and you deserve to have friends who support you. I think we're just going to say fuck it, and we're just going to put this phone in, by the way. I think we're just going to do it, because I'm not cutting another piece of foam. But yeah, if your friend is just joking around, I mean, even if it's a joke, you're still getting your feelings hurt. And, you should be able to speak to them about that. But if it's not a joke and they are being mean just to make themselves feel better, then you need to find a new friend. It can be pretty tough to find friends who support you. It can, but it's worth it. It's not worth it to keep someone around who makes you feel like shit. I know that I've cut several people out of my life because I just couldn't take it anymore, and I've been a lot happier for it. It can be very hard. You may need to let other people know just so that they know what's going on, but it can be worth it in the end because you deserve to feel good about yourself, as I've said already. This chat is like an agony aunt page. Am I the agony aunt then? Yes, I do know what an agony aunt is. I know what those pages are. That's okay. That's okay. I like talking. So I don't mind if this turns into an agony aunt chat. I'm fine with that. All right, so as you can see here, where I went wrong is what I almost did with the glue before, where I have two seams here. One is a detail seam, and one is the actual seam that I was going for, and I only cut enough to fit in between the detail seams and not the actual seams. So we're just gonna fold this over and glue it to itself, and it'll be fine for this one. I'll just be more careful in the future. Hi, yeah, but in a good way. Respect on the advice. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I know I am. And I hope that it's good advice. One of the reasons I'm streaming is because I'm shy, because I have social anxieties, and I want to work through that a bit more. And I feel like I've been having a lot of success with it. I've learned how to talk for 2 hours straight. And I feel better about myself. And let me tell you, cutting toxic friends out of your life, once you get through the awkwardness, you're happier. It's still fun to hear about kind of what the other people are getting into if you're cutting them out because they're just too much drama. Um, but yeah, and don't be mean about cutting people out if you need to. You can just do the fade away, where you're just like, oh yeah, we should get together. Block you on Facebook. But don't unfriend so that they don't know. That's what I did. Maybe not the best way to go about it, but that's what I did. Oh, I hope they're not going to watch this. They're probably not. I just like listening to Americans. You guys are awesome. Well, I hope that I am giving you what you're looking for. I have obsession. Is that the right word? I think too much. Yep. That can be anxiety too. It's a good sign of anxiety. I would start trying to tell yourself that you don't need to apologize for who you are. That's what I tell myself a lot. I mean, as long as you're not kicking puppies, you're not doing anything bad. So you shouldn't have to feel bad about who you are. If you make a mistake, just, well, nothing you can do about it now. Time to move on. And if you're worried about like misspeaking or people not quite understanding you, just do your best. Take a deep breath, and somebody will hear you. Somebody will understand you, and that's the person you want to keep around. But yeah, just tell yourself it's okay. You don't have to apologize for being who you are. And you will be a happier person if you can manage that. I know I've been a happier person. I'm your Twitch mom now. Kicking puppies, that's a new one. Well, you don't. People who kick puppies are evil. Anyone who kicks a puppy is evil. I mean, come on. I am a crazy dog lady, though, so that's part of my bias. Kittens, if you're gonna kick kittens or babies. Heavenly Hedge Mom. Is that okay? I'll be your Heavenly Hedge Mom, your Twitch mom. I'm fine with that. I'll do it. I don't care. I know I've dealt with a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety in my short life, and you don't have to deal with it. And so I try to make it a point now to let people know you don't have to deal with it. You've never heard that saying in your life, as long as you're not kicking puppies, it's okay. Maybe I made it up. I tend to make things up, including words. I make up a lot of words. But come on, if you meet someone who kicks a puppy, you're not going to like that person. So as long as you're not the person kicking a puppy, you're okay. I'm a massive dog person too. I love my blue Staffordshire Bull Terrier. OMG. Clock. Oh, it's already 1:30. It's already 12:30 for you. Well, I will be back again. I will be having another Good Crafternoon on Tuesday at the same time, 1 o'clock. I will likely still be working on this purse. I'll be back again tonight at 5:30, which you should probably be sleeping. And I will be here again on Sunday at 6 o'clock Pacific time for a cosplay hunt, where we're going to take a look at a game we're going to take a look at Beckett. That's what we're doing, because I need to take a look at Beckett for a gigantic cosplay. Yeah, and you can always find my schedule down below underneath the video. And yeah, Mr. Party Night, if you're going to bed now, I'm so happy you joined me, and I'm looking forward to having you in my chat again. Although if I don't finish all this gluing in the next half hour, then I will do it on my own time, so that we'll be sewing next time. Because gluing is boring. Sewing is not much more exciting, but what you gonna do? But yeah, so blue Staffordshire Bull Terrier. How big are they? I have 2 corgi mixes myself. I've got one Border Collie corgi and a Dachshund corgi mystery mix. Ghost Eyes says, speaking of stress, I was supposed to head up to Grand Rapids Tuesday to sign the papers for my new place, and I had to reschedule it because I somehow managed to get jury duty. Oh, that sucks. I know a lot of people who've gotten jury duty lately. That is no fun at all. I'm sorry you had to get your jury duty at the most inconvenient time, Ghost Eye. But I hope that your new place was very understanding about it. Everyone knows that jury duty sucks. Everyone knows it. There we go. But, oh, yeah, I'm such a crazy dog person. I'm such a crazy dog person. It's Saturday, so I can sleep so much if I want. Next week is going to be a stressful week, so you want to enjoy yourself? That's fine then. You can hang out if you want to. But I'm sorry that you've got a stressful week coming up ahead of you. No, I don't deal well with stress at all. Oh, I get sick every time I get super stressed out. Alright, so again, same thing here is we're going to be able to fold this over and then fold these in so that we have a fully covered corner there. I don't want any of that orange showing through. How did I do this on the other one? There we go. There. No, chat, come back. So again, sorry about any weirdness with the video or the audio and all that. I'm currently filming on my phone, Skyping to my computer, and watching the chat on my Surface. I will get a proper setup hopefully soon. I need to get a wireless card for one of our old computers so that we can set it up here in the craft room, but we have not done that yet. Alright, guys. We've got everything glued together. I'm going to be clipping all the corners now. And we will see if we can't get at least glue applied so that once the stream is over, I'll just smush everything together. But first, we have to do our prep work. I prefer to do everything that is similar all at one time. So there you go. Just fold that over. And the way that I'm going to be applying everything, I'm not worrying too much about like this edge right here showing through from the fold, because I'm going to be trying to do a steering wheel stitch along the seams that I put in with my sewing machine the other day. So I really hope this works, because I am attempting a lot to figure it out. But yeah, I started working on this a year ago, probably around this time last year, to see how fast I could make it, and then I gave up halfway through. Because clearly it wasn't working the way I intended. All right. Next Thursday we have disco, and I am one of who checks everything is working. And today I heard one artist can't come, so it's stressful. Oh, so you're like planning it. You're trying to organize stuff. Oh, that is stressful, especially when someone drops out at the last minute. Ooh. Planning is one of the things that I avoid whenever possible. So good luck to you. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I concentrate when I'm cutting, because these are extremely sharp. And I have cut a chunk out of my finger before with these scissors because I wasn't properly gauging where my finger was in relation to the cut. I don't recommend cutting a piece of you out with scissors. It's very painful. But I'm clumsy, so I tend to get hurt a lot when I'm doing stuff like this. There we go. Oh, my dogs are currently crated right now because I'm in the cat room and they're not allowed in the cat room. I will bring them by for a future stream, but right now if I go and I get them, it's going to stress them out because I'm not going to be able to hang out with them right away, and I can't let them in this room because the cats get very angry. Specifically, one giant white fluffy cat gets very angry, and she will pee in the hallway if I let the dogs in her room. So I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. You know. Let's see if I can't, oh. Alright. I had an X-Acto knife stuck to my surface. Let's see. Let's see if I can't find a picture. No, that's not what I meant. Let's go there. I do think my dogs are absolutely the cutest. I love showing them off. Alright, come on now. Yeah, cat pee is not fun. Oh, you just became chairman of your student union if you didn't want to be? Oh, that is the worst. Good on you for sticking through it. Let's see. Where's my pictures? Oh, there's one puppy, but not a good picture of the puppy. All my best pictures are on my phone, and my phone is right there. Let's see. Come on. You can do it. So, no, where did it go? Stop that. There's my boy. Isn't he cute? He's so stumpy. Both of my dogs, their paws don't reach past their noses. Then, oh, I just realized I never took away that top bar in the UI. I need to do that. A Sphinx cat. Are those the hairless ones? Those are very unique looking cats. That is for sure. Let's see. Where's my girl? Where's my girl? Oof, let's see. No, that's my boy again. It switched. It switched. There we go. Let's see. There's my girl. She got stumpy legs. My stumpy puppies. I love them so much. They're my babies. I studied, I did studio art, so drawing and painting, and I also did 3D modeling, such as for games and movies. None of that really worked out, and now I'm a dog trainer, so life takes interesting turns. I will say that my artist education has been really great for cosplay. I can think in 3 dimensions. And I can draw. Oh, you had a ghost eye, you had a cat who liked to pee in your dirty laundry. Oh, that is disgusting. I guess better than peeing in your clean laundry. But yeah, Astrid, before we gave her her own room, she would pee in our hallway. She would just pee. Dog training is a lot of fun. The hard part is the people. The people can be very stressful. The dogs are great. Most of the time, the dogs are great. It's just the people. But yeah, I enjoy it, and I have an excuse to be a crazy dog lady, so even better. So, Mr. Party Night, are you in high school or are you in college? What are you studying? Oh, you're studying media things. So you're a media assistant this year. Well, good for you. Stick through it, stick with it, be determined, and seize every opportunity you can possibly find. That's where I failed. I was not determined enough. I would gladly live on a little island on my own just with dogs. Ah, wouldn't that be wonderful? That would be a dream, Scotty. Just a little tropical island with your dogs. Ah. And maybe a few good people, too. But only the good people. Right. So I've got all my corners clipped there. Now it's time to apply more glue. So, screw it. I'm not drawing all those lines. We'll just glue it. So, I always say one thing you have to keep in mind, one more thing you have to keep in mind. So one more thing to keep in mind with barge glue and any other rubber cement, be careful about getting glue around the edge and under the cap, because you can definitely glue the cap to the jar and then you're screwed. So be careful of that. Yep, no puppy kickers on Paradise Puppy Island. You do have so much time. 19, you have so much time ahead of you. Oh my goodness. Make the most of it. Do the things you love. And just be happy. Now is the time where you could just try out new things. But definitely be determined. Have ambition and work towards your goals. Now is the time. You don't want to get to a point in your life where you're like, oh, I haven't done anything. But, to be 19 again. It's a good time when life is filled with possibilities. Man. But it's great that you're already doing video stuff since you want to do directing or editing. The more you can do now on your own, the better off you'll be later. So, not gluing on my pants, because that would be dumb. I am not gluing on my pants. Oftentimes when cosplaying, it helps to take a look at what you're doing and say, is this really smart? Gluing on my pants would not be smart. um, I'm trying to remember that you can't see anything down here. I'm sorry about that. Not that there's much to see. Again, I'm gluing. That's why I talk so much, because I know that I'm just gluing. I'm glad I make you laugh. I know I make Ghost Eye laugh sometimes. I know you laugh at me, Ghost Eye. It's okay. I know I can be ridiculous. I'm glad it's entertaining. All right. So again, I will be back later on tonight at about 5:30. We're going to play some Gigantic. If you don't know what Gigantic is, you can check it out at gogigantic.com. It's a 5-on-5 arena game. It's a lot of fun. It's super colorful, and I typically don't do PvP type stuff, but I've been enjoying myself so much. So we're gonna play some more. Yeah, it's a good time. You can drink if you want. I don't drink, so it's harder to find some friends who don't drink. But yeah, it's okay if people drink so much. Yeah, just stick with what you want to do. If you don't want to drink, you don't have to drink. I went to a bachelorette party recently. 16 ladies, one person who didn't drink. She stuck with it. She still had a good time. You just got to get used to being that person who takes care of everyone. As long as you can manage that, doesn't mean you can't have fun, but also doesn't mean you don't have to drink. I know my husband doesn't drink at all. But on the other hand, it's not bad. People who drink, it's not bad either. You do what you can. You do what you want to do. It's a personal choice. But yeah, I drink. My husband doesn't drink. It works. You're drinking right now. That's right. You got home from the pub, didn't you? You just having an after party? Oh, you reminded me I've got sake in my fridge. Ooh. I'm gonna have to have some of that later. All right, glue done. I have an iPhone 6, I believe. I would have gotten the 6S for the giant screen so I could read stuff, but it would not fit in my pocket. So I got the 6. I just don't care for Androids, so that's why I've stuck with the iPhones. But I know my brother loves his Android, so to each their own. Oh, I'm so ready to be done gluing. Like I said before, this stuff smells kind of like death. Which is why I have my windows open so that I've got lots of ventilation going on in here. Because I don't want to make myself or the cats sick. Alright. But yep, I'll be back tonight playing some gigantic and hopefully kicking ass at my low level. I played with some high level people on Wednesday and I felt so carried. I felt like so useless. And here I was playing on my own at people my level and like, oh man, I'm doing so good. And then I play with people who are actually high level and I'm just like, oh no, I'm not that good. Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. Yeah, phones can get too big. I think that my brother has a Samsung. I don't know if he has the Edge one, but I think he has one of the Samsung ones. But yeah, if you're a guy and you have big pockets, those big phones can be fine. But otherwise, if you are a lady and you have lady-sized pockets, and you don't want to carry around a purse, you have some issues with the giant phones. I don't like to carry a purse, so the pocket was a deal breaker for me. Ah, glue everywhere. You can tell I'm getting done, that I'm just ready to not be gluing anymore because I'm getting sloppy. You hate big phones too, Ghost Eye? I know that my husband loves his giant phone, but he reads a lot of comics and books on his, so he liked having the big picture. Which I wanted. I wanted that big picture, because I know I watch like anime on my phone, and it would be easier to see the subtitles, and I read comics on my phone. But my pockets are too little. I want to go back to the time when everyone was trying to make phones smaller. I don't know. I like my phone. I like everything it is capable of doing. Did you see that Zoolander commercial where he's got his itty bitty little phone and then this other guy is like, "Oh, your phone's so small. Here's my phone. It's an iPad." I thought that was funny. Okay, I think that's okay. I've got glue on my finger. My foot's asleep. My foot's asleep. That's what a tablet is for. Yeah. But a phone is so convenient. I don't know, Ghost Eye. I'm not going to convince you that bigger phones are better, and you're not going to convince me that smaller phones are better. I think we'll just have to disagree on this. Okay. There we go. Now I have to make sure that I spend extra time getting all the little edges, making sure that I apply enough glue on the edges here, because otherwise they're just not going to stick. Bring back the Nokia 3330. I don't remember what that phone was. I do miss, I had this old phone that had the best ringtone. I miss that phone. I don't remember what the ringtone was, but I remember it was the best ringtone. I can bet that if I was watching some other stream, I would sleep. Well, I'm glad that I'm entertaining you. I do advocate sleep. Sleep is very good, but I will be finishing up in just a few minutes, so you can go get some sleep, and you won't have to miss anything. I will be back again with another good Crafternoon on Tuesday. I do Crafternoons Tuesdays and Fridays at 1 o'clock. Once I'm done with the purse, chances are I'll be working on EVA foam guns for gigantic cosplay. And again, I'll be back tonight at 5:30 and again Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Glue. Let me finish gluing this first, and then I'll do my whole thing. But yes, puppies have been crated for 2 hours now, so it's fine. It's time for them to come out. By the way, I don't care how old a dog is, they're always going to be a puppy to me. So one of the reasons that I'm working on this right now is because I do want to sell these online in general. I'm currently the only person I've made one of these for, but I do have a friend who has commissioned one, which is why I'm revisiting it now. And I do get a lot of people who ask me about it when I have them out, when I have my cake purse with me, so I think it could sell. I think it could. I just need to make it so that it's actually cost effective. If I could make 2 purses in a week, I feel like that would be pretty good. That's my lowball goal. My Staffy is 10 and we literally call him a puppy all the time. Oh, yeah, still a puppy. Still a puppy. Just an old puppy. Oh my goodness. Old puppies make me cry. Old dogs make me cry because I'm always hearing stories about how someone is doing so much to make sure that their old dog is comfortable. Whether it's getting them all their favorite foods or making sure that they have a ramp so they can get up onto their bed. Oh, old dogs make me cry. Good cry. It's a good cry. But they make me cry. Old puppies. Oh my goodness. Okay, 2 more pieces to glue. He's grumpy as hell now. If you make him get up before 10 a.m. Oh, that's too cute. He's earned it though. 10 years old? Oh, he's earned that. And I'm fine with a dog that wakes up at 10. I know my dogs will sleep with me and they will cuddle for as long as I will sleep. They are so cuddly. But I had a cat once who she learned that she could get me up. And she learned that I would feed her first thing in the morning, so she thought that if she woke me up earlier, she would get fed earlier. So she would wake me up at 7, and then 6:45, and then the next day 6:30, and then the next week she'd be waking me up at 6 in the morning. I would have loved it if that cat would sleep until 10 in the morning. Oh, you carry your dog up to bed? That is so sweet. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna cry. Mr. Party Night, you have 2 Tibetan Mastiffs? Oh my god, I bet they're huge. Oh my god, I bet they're such good cuddles. And he sleeps in your bed. How is that gross? Ugh. I know a man like that. Oh, hi Bartosa, thanks for joining me. You know, a guy who lives alone with his dog and does everything to make him happy. Isn't it just sweet? Oh, I'm gonna cry. I am gonna cry because you know that guy and because Scotty carries his dog up the stairs so that he can go to bed. That is too cute. But I promised that I would not cry on stream. That is still my goal. So I'm going to do my best not to cry until I get all the glue done. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have some friends who they had a cat that she was their baby, and they did so much for her when she got kidney failure. And they gave her daily IVs on their own so that she would stay with them at a good quality for life just that much longer. It's like, that is love. I love hearing when people love their pets, especially their old pets. Because it's easy to love a puppy. But you know that when you've got an old dog and they don't quite have that same energy anymore, and you have to do so much for them, like that is a lifetime of love showing through right there when you are willing to carry your dog up the stairs to go to bed. That is a lifetime of love showing through. And that's why I cry. Oh my God, I need to stop talking about this. I am refusing to cry on stream. I'm gluing faster now so I can go cry later. Oh my God. All right, well, good night, Mr. Party Night. Good luck with your stressful week, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you had a good crafternoon. I know I have. And I hope to see you in my chat again soon, okay? And if you ever need more Twitch mom advice, you can come to me again, okay? Aww. Scotty says, my dog caught lungworm at a really young age and our insurance wouldn't pay to help him. So you paid $10,000 of your own money. Oh my God. That is love. That is love right there. You have such a lucky dog. You have such a lucky dog that you guys were willing to do that for him. Yours are the stories that I love to hear. All right, good night, Mr. Party Night. I am nearly done. I'm going to glue this, and then I've got one more piece to glue. And then that is going to be it for today. And I have to make sure I don't forget about all this so that I can come back and glue everything down later before the glue dries. Luckily, this glue has a 24-hour work time, so I could forget all night and still be okay. And there is a good chance I will forget. I have a mind like a sieve. Ugh. He has a scar that runs the full length of his spine. Oh, from the lungworm? Oh, poor puppy. Poor old puppy. Oh my goodness. I've been lucky that so far my dogs have been in pretty good health. I know that one of my fellow dog trainers, her puppy had pretty much every disease ever when she got her, including parvo. And her dog nearly died. And she put in so much time and so much money, and now that dog is like the best. Oh, thank you. Hedgehogs are pretty awesome. I nearly got a pet hedgehog. I nearly did. But then I realized that my cats would torment it, so I had to give up on that dream. But hedgehogs are adorable, aren't they? But yes, I got my name. Oh, they get run over a lot? That's so sad. I know I'm laughing, but that is so sad. Oh, poor hedgehogs. We get a lot of possums here. Lots of possums and raccoons. It can be hard to be a tiny critter in a big world with giant wheels that move very quickly. Yeah, I got my name from a D&D campaign that we played once where the DM's sister, younger sister. All right, you're leaving too, Scotty? Well, thank you for joining me and thank you for telling me about your old puppy. I hope to see you in my chat again and I hope that you have a good evening. Bye. Thank you so much. But yeah, so we're running a D&D campaign and the DM's sister had left like this something called a silly band, where it's like a rubber band, but when you lie it down, it was in the shape of a hedgehog, and we ended up turning it into our party's deity. It was the heavenly hedgehog. May he ever hold you to his warm fuzzy belly, and turn his spikes to your enemies, or something like that. So that's where I got my name, because we turned a hedgehog into our deity. He was the heavenly hedgehog. Also, hedgehogs are awesome. Aww, that is very sweet of you, Bartosa. Giving them a proper burial. Not many people would do that. It's so sweet of you. I know. I hate it whenever I see something on the road and I just like I can't go over it. I have to go around. You are better than me stopping to make sure they get a proper rest. I feel like there's a spot here where there's no glue and I can't get in there. But yeah, I know I hate it when I see a car run over a dead thing. I'm like, don't do that. You don't need to do that. But I'm guessing, Bartosa, that you're in the UK too, since you've got hedgehogs everywhere. I know that we don't get wild hedgehogs here in California. I don't know if they get hedgehogs on the East Coast or anything. I don't know. All right, this is the last of the glue. Success. Oh my goodness. I am so ready to not be dealing with glue anymore. You have no idea. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping. All right. So I hope you guys had a good crafternoon. I know I did. We did a lot of gluing today. Lots of barge cement, which is amazing. I recommend it. Also, yeah, mostly barge cement. So I will get all of this stuff glued down and arranged. The Bartosa says they're very much close to my heart because they resemble me. They got bad eyesight and are good at hiding and getting in their own place. Yes, I live close. I'm from the Netherlands. Oh, I know, hedgehogs. They're so cute. I also felt like they resembled me because I've got a warm, smushy interior, but I'm all prickly on the outside. Oh, you must be a very nice person if you resemble a hedgehog. They're so sweet. They're so sweet. Thank you so much, Bartosa. I do my best. I do my best to stay sunny for me and for you. So, this is the end of Good Crafternoon. I'm going to go free my puppies, and I will be back in a little over 2 hours at 5:30 Pacific time for some gigantic fun. I hope to see you there. And again, I hope that you had a wonderful afternoon. Bye, guys.